we'll see if you're able to empower the Callista throughout the fight, what happens. But yeah, I feel like Nikki would kind of would have had the same lane dominance and a little bit more value out of your R key compared to this hostile takeover that I don't see getting a ton of value this game.
Yeah, I don't...
So it's kind of stuck. The bummer is that you give away the first dragon, but frankly, against the Callista Renata lane, this is kind of like quite frankly the game plan. So trading resources and trying to set behind this Gwen. Rumble going to be a lot happier in this 1v2 scenario than the Gwen herself. So I like this from WE.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird one right now. Is both mid and top are being shoved in, but oh boy, TP coming in. Big fight.
That TP advantage from Cube is going to pay big dividends here for WE. That forces LGD's hand to run the heck away, and YCX, without Callista not being level 6, no way to get out of this one alive. That
opportunity to bounce back here, I will say, as we have gotten back out onto the map. WE has leveled some of these lanes. There is a little bit of lead for Monkey, so not all bad. Just think that WE, again, they burned a lot for the first 3 grubs, didn't really get a lot back. And I do like the scaling of LGD throughout this game.
Decent look from Cube with the equalizer. Only tags Sasa just a hair on the bottom end of that play. Oh, I don't know if Sasa wanted to go back in. Was trying to greed for the minion wave, but realizes that
horizontal. It's a vertical jungling. Never mind. Raptor's going to be taken. Climber going to take the second dragon. All right, that was fun. Never mind. Raptor goes to Xiaoye. Big win.
Yeah. Did he cast Fate's Call? Is that what I saw?
Yes, it was a Fate's Call, and then he queued the Raptors. Also, Rafa, I just want to say nothing's happened to this.
But
this game already kind of feels awkward. I'm not. That said, Salsa, no, Exhaust escaped this one.
Okay, well, at least Vampire can lead the charge with turret aggro, and the ultimate will ensure that he does not go down while doing so. It was essentially 4 men committed to the play on the top side, and we're going to see once again the retributions of how much is too much for WE committing to some of these side lane plays.
Yeah, but I mean, this time around, it's 5 grubs, right? So this turret's going to melt. I do like this play because you have such a big grub advantage that you can just melt the turret and try and play for first brick, which would nearly secure them feats. So Team WE continue to play with direction.
Doesn't let them first brick. Where are they on feats? They've got 2 kills for themselves, so 1 more kill.
They need...
right? Like if the person playing it is not playing it well. Now Cube might be caught out here in rotation, trying to catch mid lane, and Esports to flash
scaling
away.
Where it's gonna like just be guaranteed that okay, like if this goes way late, like they're gonna break him, like for sure, right? So that said, LGD gonna try and poke out Vampire. This dragon is likely to go down to Team WE. We'll see if they fight afterwards.
Realm Warp. Oh, nice flash to close the distance and stop the Realm Warp from happening. That means... to make a play where you have this clear item advantage while Taeyun is still working on his second. However, top laner for LGD is under fire as Monkey and the rest of the WE squad is able to make a nice collapse. But Cube is also here, and the rest of LGD now want to take a fight, trying to punish afterwards. Monkey turns right onto Climber. The fight is breaking out on both sides of the fight right now. Good hostile takeover for YCX, able to assist on the right flank as they now turn tail. It's a trade of jungler for mid laner, but maybe Xiaoye can turn up the heat here, but it gets caught out. Taeyun arrives to the party once again, and WE are steamrolling in the mid game.
I mean, LGD, they opted into taking a fight down numbers at rough terrain. It looked okay as Xiaoye was kind of, drain tanking his way through the fight, but Taeyun, the flash chains the corruption over the wall.
Yeah, Cleaver. Obviously, he got the Shojin in the second one. Maw would have not been terrible this game either, but you know what? We'll see if the Sorrel discourages it. Yeah, maybe. WE trying to snowball the game as fast as possible by trying to rip this out of Khan and force LGD's hand while they have the gold advantage, and I think it's going down without really a fight. XQW is looking at it, gets vision, but now they turn right onto LGD. The hostile takeover might buy some time, but Xiaoye has to really work overtime to rip these spears out, but he does not get a chance to, as he is just eliminated by the dog pack under the reins of Monkey. WE are leaving no room to breathe for LGD, and they have taken over this game.
It just feels like absolutely no chance for LGD to operate within this game. I mean,
like we said, who can reliably stop Nefiri in Mr. Combo here? It's such a hard execution thing to do. You basically have to wait as Climber, winding up Q when you think Monkey's about to go in with ulti, and you can like snag her on the entrance, or, you know, if you're really good on the Renata, you catch her midair with handshake. But I mean, to ask of that reliably is just really tough, you know? And it's definitely now WE's ball game, and the gold advantage has not budged since the top lane fight, but at this point, they've been able to prevent the Dragon Soul stacking for LGD. They have now 2 Infernal Dragons to their name, and with a Neferi this fed, I find it very hard for LGD to come back at this point.
Yeah, the Infernal Dragon's really nice role for WE. Of course, everyone's building damage, so kind of nice to get full benefit off that. Now, Otacon, GAs are up, so they might play this very aggressively.
A lot of ultimates being expended right now. XQW threw the whole kitchen sink, and didn't seem like he got much other than being able to kill the minion wave, but at least WE are able to withstand the defense from LGD. Going to be able to walk away with an inhibitor turret. Probably not the inhibitor itself. And as you called out, LGD were trying to push on the top side of the map. Got a tier 2 for themselves. So at least they're trading of an overall map objective.
And Gwen got 2 turrets, and South is up a level now on the Rumble. Still down a level to Karis, who is the furthest ahead in the game. So I will say that could matter if this game does go late. But it does feel like Team WE are going to be able to successfully snowball this one through. Again, 6 grubs, double Infernal, now a Realm Warp on the face of XQW. Xiaoye, goodbye. No cleanse.
No flash available either. Armor being built on a majority of the carries here for LGD. So the poke from Varus is going to be really, really damaging.
Yeah, I actually do kind of respect Neferi and Varus being played in the game with 2 magic damage solo laners. Like that, these guys really like it when, especially with poke Varus, when you can't build armor. And definitely puts LGD in a tough spot. So I do like that aspect of the drafts here from WE.
Yeah. Climber was looking for an opportunistic flank, but Cube sniffs it out, and now, Vampire, another pulverized flash. What is it today? WE is playing on full form tonight. They knew what the stakes were, and they were not going to let game 1 go away so easily. It's in their hands, and LGD are on the run as Vampire sends him back to the fountain. WE taking 4 off the board, and I don't think Shasta is going to be enough to defend against WE.
Look, there's not much to say. This front line just couldn't support Kalista at all. And Xiaoye with no cleanse, the way that he was attacked later on by WE, by Karis, by Taeyun was legitimately really nice. Well played, Team WE, and making this game 1 look quite clean. I think that Braum, with the Xin Zhao into Aatrox, Viego, and then you have a Nautilus showing, could be really, really valuable this game. That said, the Ziggs Talia is a way to actually really nerf that. But I think the LGD's comp a little bit easier to execute. Team WE, they don't have that reliable DPS like behind his bot lane was and still is from the start.
Oh, no. You should know that Vampire's moving. Climber! I don't know if he's not talking to his bot lane, but they had the shove in, and maybe he just figured that YCX was going to be able to match the roam time from Vampire, but honestly...
so that's going to be the game plan. If you are LGD, that said, still behind early. Big goal deficit, and it's going to snowball into more neutral objectives as Monkey going to take this Dragon, and frankly, with the comp that LGD has and where the game's
Vampire, at... Just send it. Just send it. Damn.
You know, if he had a Hex Flash, I think he might have and should have.
Well, he's going to tank up the entrance.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just buying space for Taeyun. Oh, no, he's got reinforced with the Avengers! Really nice shuffle, though, from XQW. Pushes WE on the other side of that wall. And now here comes the rest of the on-squad from LGD. They're pushing on through. Monkey was not able to get the resets, and that means this composition just completely falls apart. XQW flashing forward to help proc the concussive blows procced by YCX. And Taeyun will fall to the backstab of XQW.
Yeah.
Sped right on over to the grubs. Got 4 for themselves total. XQW gonna punish now Karis, who does not have a flash from the previous engage. YCX being able to tank up the counterattack from WE to guarantee that at least XQW takes out Karis. He might be in trouble. The arrow goes wide once again, but XQW still pumping out damage before he eventually does go down, but Monkey traded out with him, and LGD still have a spot, or a chance, I should say, to actually stop WE from looking for a dragon, since they'll have smite advantage.
I mean, first the Emperor wins a 3v4, and then he walks out with 2, and what, a 2v4? It's a huge game for XQW, who I really feel like has been the one on LGD that struggled the most as an individual compared to what we saw from Split 1, but backs up against the wall. The LDL champion for LGD that was promoted with this team, stepping up big in this game, as it will be a trade. Of course, first brick does go over to Team WE in the bot side, but LGD again getting a lot of mileage out of this pick. Now Karis.
And Karis still doesn't have flash, so Shasha tries to go for the punish with the public execution climber, almost in range. Looking for the win becomes lightning, lands it true, but the unraveled earth, it would be unwise to dash through it and get stunned under the turret, so climber does not opt in to continue the dive.
Yeah, they are giving up the dragon, and because bot outer fell, they did have one timer to at least, you know, opt into sacking that wave to look for something up top that will lead to the turret falling. That said, I actually don't really like this play from LGD, because you're going to see Climber. He had no camps to take on the top side against Monkey. All of his camps are on this bot side, Rafa, and Monkey's just going to be able to get in here and take them all.
He is massively ahead in terms of the jungle CS. I don't think YCX yoinked the red buff away with that Winter Spite. Yeah. But yeah. LGD Vampire holds his cool, does not blindly queue into darkness, and is able to at least get intel that there were a lot of people waiting in that line brush. Monkey is able to slip on through the upper lip. And they have vision now of the Rift Herald, knowing that it's below 7,000 HP. Good arrow by Xiaoya. And here comes the CC train. Karis tries to flash away, and he is dead again anyway. WE now working without a man, 4v5. But good damage, but Taeyun almost looks for it, but XQW gets exposed as the simple flash on the Ziggs is able to get away from the engage, and Shasha tries to bail it out or salvage the play, but it just goes worse, and WE benefit off of a couple fumbles from LGD.
Rafa, my palms have hit my face as I'm not exactly sure what XQW was thinking there with that engage. Just so split by LGD. Climber was on the objective / wanted to take it. Xiaoya is pretty low.
Trying to clip Karis in his Weaver's Wall, but now teleports are coming in from the rest of WE, seeing if they can actually collapse. And yeah, because XQW went for the pick on to Karis, he was in Super Narnia, and no way for LGD to bail him out of that one. So now WE, 5-man to 4-man advantage on the map. There's no immediate objectives that they can go for, since Dragon and Otacon still don't spawn for another 50 seconds, but maybe they can get something in the mid lane with this Rift Herald.
I feel like XQW is trying to do so much where, again, as Azir, we saw the fights going well earlier on because he was absorbing, right? People were coming into him. It's not him trying to go make plays. And now, of course, Ziggs plus a Rift Herald, that means that one of your turrets falls. Don't care how many grubs you have. It's going to go down. As, again, I will say a 3K gold lead at this point for Team WE. That's about what this comp needs. I'd say this is somewhat on pace. They still need to keep the pace up. It's LGD keeping the pace up. XQW.
Speaking of Super Narnia, XQW teleported in, but again, just a simple flash from Cube is able to get away, and he's got Taeyun and a Vampire in his back pocket just in case they wanted to overextend for it.
Dragon is spawning. I think that's what compelled XQW to actually TP in, because it does force Cube out. There's no TP, so this should be Dragon going over to LGD.
Yeah, Cube does not have teleport. They're burning it down super quickly. Monkey is nowhere to be seen since he was taking camps on the other side of the map, which I would have done the same thing, to be honest. But WE now trying to force the fight. Death Charge goes right onto XQW, stops the damage output for now. Shasha forced to flash backwards into the safety of his team. YCX trying to stand behind or in front of the rest of the squad. YCX tries to go in, but he got stunned on the entrance to the unraveled earth. Karis being able to put a stop to the LDL champions' aspirations and fighting for a spot into the Ascend group. And WE are just running away with the fight. The flash forward from Monkey gets another reset. Shasha does not get a chance to escape with the TP. This just might be game over for LGD.
I know that you want to deny the soul point, deny the dragon, but Team WE did such a nice job on that setup, just corralling LGD. They cut off the exit to mid, forced them down on the map, and that fight, again, it was XQW trying to go in, make a difference with the Shurima Shuffle, gets caught out by Karis in the Unraveled Earth. And this Azir that was so big early on, Rafa, he was 3-1-1 after that 3v4 where they wiped.
We find themselves with a 5,000 gold advantage against LGD. Just what seems like 10 minutes after what could have been a massive snowball from LGD being able to, through the hands of XQW, pull off 2 back-to-back massive fights. He's been so useful. He's been so crucial in just stopping and punishing a lot of LGD's plays that they've been setting up. Granted, were they the smartest? Probably not. Definitely bold choices by XQW to go in, but the walls have been pretty damn good in stifling what LGD wanted to do. The Unraveled Earth has been placed well to stop any threats trying to...
Saying, like, hey, I think that Cube and... Oh, hold on, pause. Engage, Climber.
XQW tries to step forward. Vampire forced to flash away. Climber steps on forward. YCX tries to double down with the Glacial Fissure, but here comes the wall, and it cuts off the backline from being able to get in. Shasha now finds Karis, but he pops the Golden Stasis, and now Monkey has the reset. He's looking. Climber. Oh, W flash to close the distance, and now he's the Braum. He's going to aid the fight with the concussive blows. We're walking up with Cube. There is the Darkened Blade as he sails right into the hearts of LGD. Any hopes that may have been dashed away and broken by Monkey and the rest of WE. This squad is on a roll.
Gonna turn their heads to the Baron. Will be a slower take as two. I think Taeyoon's got to go assist him, but he's gonna clean up the turret first. W continues to cruise, and again, this fight, like the terrain they're taking it. Should have been the Diego, man. Wukong bad. That looks good right now.
You know, Neferi and Viego, Monkey basically got the dream carry junglers to put WE in a position to get one step closer to fighting their way into Group Ascend. They still have to close out this game, though, but I imagine that they are just one more good fight from putting the last nail in the coffin for LGD and banishing them to the Nirvana realm.
I will say, if WE were to, you know, play it chill to make sure they get Hextech Soul, I'd actually appreciate that. At the moment, though,
this is not very chill. This is not chill. This is not chill. Climber pops the ultimate. Super bomb from Taeyoon as it damages the backline. YCX forced to retreat. Inhibitor tower has been felled, but they can't quite step up and finish to be able to walk in freely into the jungle quadrant. They have to play through mid lane, of course, with the wave pushing in. WE have now full control of the bot side, where someone will have to answer Cube, and WE can play this as patiently as possible. They're not in a rush to burn down this dragon. They can keep LGD occupied as long as possible, and Cube, instead of going for the open base, he is going for the long flank. Xiaoya, massive damage from the Mega Inferno Ball as they all try to turn on to the Aatrox and see if they can take out the World Ender before he ends their world. But Karis flying into the backline completes absolute pandemonium, and the Monkey resets are pouring in once again as Xiaoya falls. LGD will also fall. WE have dashed their hopes into Group Ascension. They have been banished to Nirvana, and WE will have one more chance to join the ranks of the top squads in LPL.
And odds we get a second series where Monkey gets both Neferi and Viego. I'm going to put those at less than 10%. I feel like if Up's doing their homework, not going to happen again, but congrats.